there has been some issues regarding the new season launch, which obviously I think is probably a bit more affected than me. I haven't been able to have time to play, but clearly some issues.
Yeah. Look, I think in terms of the game itself, when you can get into a game and the addition of RAM have actually been great. Fun Operator hasn't been completely overbearing, but in terms of the technical side, the back end, there were some really serious critical issues at launch. I think for the first 16 to 24 hours, matchmaking was very spotty, if not completely broken most of that period. You could get into a custom game, but you couldn't matchmake, so you couldn't play public games at all pretty much for the first 16 or so hours, which was really disappointing. And then as a part of that, my understanding is, and they listed this on R6 Fix, they disabled the ranked API to try and alleviate some of the server load. They then came out and publicly said, your rank will be visible in future. It's still being tracked. However, I looked at the Ubisoft support account, and on the download, they've come out and said, yeah, scrap that. We don't actually have that data anymore, so apologies. Those ranked games don't count. So that's very frustrating for the 40-50% of people that do play ranked, myself included. Pretty much means that you can discount the first week. Didn't really count. So certainly some underlying frustrations, and the sentiment at the moment is that a lot of people are annoyed at the way in which the season launched, especially with the game now being out for 8 years. It's not really acceptable. I get it. It's live service. Stuff can just randomly break, and it always does for all different titles. But nonetheless, a disappointment, and has probably marred what overall has actually been, a pretty good update.
It's been a pretty good period as well in general, I think, for Rainbow Six. A lot of non-typical R6 streamers have come into the fold as content creators getting in and around it. I think the numbers on Steam are like the highest they've been for the last 2-3 years. So to have a bit of a crap launch is probably not the best time to have it, but fingers crossed all of the issues can get sorted out, especially the servers, and people can get playing. Because I think, a lot of the actual updates and changes themselves, and as you said, when you can get into the game,
they're fine.
They're actually all really good, and everything's fine with that. Moving on.